So we're keeping the schedule somewhat fluid and a little bit updated, but if you want to check it, it's on the website, Run for the Unicorns. And we're getting close to lunch, and we've got a speaker who probably would take us through lunch, but we don't want to miss it. But so I'm going to go ahead and introduce him now, and hopefully we can get some more of him throughout the day as we get through. Bruce Porter, he's an American entrepreneur who is recognized as an expert in both blockchain, but also in cryptography, social media, and event production. He's actually been with the mission to open up blockchain to the masses. And so with that, I'll turn it over to Bruce.
Thank you. We are live in Louisville. I'll tell you what, guys, it is so great to be here. I'm so excited about this event. I guess I need a microphone. All right. I've been talking with Andrew Prell now for a few months, and I've been talking about this event and how cool this event is. And, you know, moving forward, it is going to be just absolutely fantastic. It's going to be the premier blockchain event of the year. Just watch. So as he said, my name is Bruce Porter, Jr. I'm the CEO of Global Boost. We're a 4-year-old blockchain, and we have a mission to help wounded veterans. And today I'm going to be talking about investing in blockchain and using it for philanthropic measures. So the last few days I got to hang out with a lot of the speakers and a lot of the people that are here. And you know, we went out and we did the Bourbon with Billionaires, and we had a nice dinner. We went to the Chow Wagon, which is really cool here in Louisville. And you know, it's cool to get your pulse of the network. And one thing that we all talked about, of course, is, you know, the ICOs, like the last gentleman was just mentioned. And what I like to always tell people is that when you talk about, oh, you know what, I need my clicker. When you talk about investing in blockchain or investing in the cryptocurrency space, right now, you know, it's so much with the ICOs, and the ICOs are great. But if you're really going to invest in blockchain, you want to diversify. You want to look at blockchain that's been around for a few years. You know, if a blockchain's been around for 3 or 4 years, the chances are it's going to be around for another 3 or 4 years. So I'm always telling people that they should diversify their funds and make their portfolio more diverse. Last year, something like 90% of the ICOs failed. I know a lot of them were great. And of course, John Nazarian was up here talking about some of those, and that's absolutely fantastic. But meanwhile, you know, Global Boost and some of the other ones I'll mention here in just a minute have been around, and they've actually increased in value. I call them the penny stocks, or the penny coins, but they've increased in value a lot, and the same thing is going to happen in the next few years. So in the weeks leading up to this, also, I'm reaching out to a lot of people and getting, you know, the network and feeling it, and I'll be speaking at the ABC Summit, which is the Asset-Backed Cryptocurrency Summit in Lisbon, Portugal, in a couple weeks, and then I'll be at the WBC Summit in Moscow. I just got back from London, and I was in Kiev, and it really is an amazing space. All the coolest and most exciting technology is coming out in blockchain. It is really the place to be, and you know, as a guy who sat on his computer all night and worked for years, it's really great to come out and meet everybody and see how it's going and be a part of it. It's really an exciting thing. One of the funny things is I was talking with some of the guys. You know, we used to pay developers all the time in Bitcoin. You know, and it really was nothing exceptional, of course, when you're buying Bitcoin at $80, or to pay, you know, a few Bitcoins for a website or for anything like that. And you look back, and it is really just so funny. You know, again, John talked about, you know, buying at 300 and you wish he had held. You look at that, you paid like $100,000 for a website, you know, at today's current value, and even more if you go back to the peak. So it's interesting, and it's a fast-moving. It is a fast-moving space. So We have, with Global Boost, what I did was I developed Global Boost with keeping the masses in mind. I looked at what was happening with Bitcoin and everything else, and you needed a huge miner, and you needed, this, and you needed all this specialized equipment to get some, or you just had to, buy it. And I wanted to make something where people were able to participate. And so I developed it using the Yes script code, which is designed by a security specialist, a famous Russian security specialist, but that goes by the name of Solar Designer. And what it does is it uses this hashing algorithm, and I was the first to bring it into blockchain, and it makes it where these ASIC and GPU miners are not so effective. And so you can mine it with an Android phone, you can mine it with a PC, you can go on Google Play right now and mine, download the Neon miner, and you can mine my blockchain. You can go to globalboost-y.com or Global Boost with a dot between the OO and the ST, and get the information on how to do it. Or you can use it and just mine Bitcoin, which I'll talk about in a minute. We have in the original, there was a couple of coins, and so I always like to bring them up, that used our code. And it was Myriad and Unitas, and both these guys are great buys. Okay, these are really great coins. They have great development team behind them, and again, they're like in this penny range right now. And you're going to see a lot of stuff happening to them. So what I like to tell people when you're investing in blockchain is to consider if they brought something new to cryptocurrency, if there is something that they did that is going to keep them or is always going to be a footnote. So like I mentioned with the Global Boost, we did the Yes script, and originally there was only 2 or 3 coins, but now there's like 15 coins that are using the Yes script code. And I expect that to continue to propagate because, of course, it helps with the decentralization, which everybody, of course, wants with their coin. The coin that we developed, you can easily mine the Global Boost with Android, and you can mine Myriad and Unitas. And what Myriad and Unitas did, Myriad was the first coin to use multi-algorithms. So you can mine Myriad with 4 different types of algorithms, and Yes script is just one of them. So again, they are spreading themselves out more to even more investors. And then Unitas was the first coin to start with the merge mining and also the multi-algorithm. So there are pools right now, and it's helped all of us, where people merge mine, and you hook it up, you hook up your miner, whether it's your Android phone or whatever it is, and you just mine away, and it mines whatever's the most profitable, and you can get paid in whatever currency that you want, or including Bitcoin. So it's a pretty cool thing. Now, the other thing is, of course, you look at the ecosystem. So again, we have our mission to help wounded veterans. You may see Lawrence Harrison over here. He's one of our blinded veterans. We taught him how to ice skate. I taught him how to ice skate, play hockey. He's doing a fantastic job. We got back from Ukraine a couple of weeks ago, and we had a really awesome experience out there. And we do some really special things, I think. And I was talking with Mr. Wild West Crypto Show over here. That if you're going to have a business or a cryptocurrency or something, you should really put something behind it and have a mission, a philanthropic mission, whatever it is. It doesn't have to be, who knows what your mission or what you think it should be, but it's always great to pair it with something, and it helps out a lot. So I also like to give everybody the shout outs. Myriad, I got Myriad and Unitas up there, the Neon miners on the bottom right there, and that's on Google Play. And that's technology I didn't even come up with. They're just using our Yes script code. The epool.net, one of our first pools still around, is really great. Cryptopia, one of our exchanges. Mining Pool Hub, another one who's been around there since the beginning. And I think this is also merge mining. And we have the Z Pool, which is a huge merge mining. You guys probably know Z Pool. I mean, they really have everything. And they have great operators, and then of course we're on Yobit as well. No matter where in the world folks are, you can easily enter the blockchain revolution with Global Boost, Myriad, and Unitas by mining with your PC or downloading the Neon miner onto your Android device. And it just works in the background. It's really easy client. If you're going to use it on your PC, it works away. And we all have an Android laying around, and that's why I always tell people too, guys, you should be mining. You got to mine, okay? You got a phone laying around. Everyone has an Android laying around. Hook it up to the Neon miner. If you don't want to mine, go to Zpool and mine for Bitcoin and put it on there, and that YesScript code is going to work really well, and you'll be able to get yourself some Bitcoin. And the other thing I always tell people is that mining in the beginning is not profitable. It is rarely profitable to mine a blockchain or mine a coin at the time that you're mining it. You're a speculator at this point. If you're mining, you want to mine, and you're hoping that in 6 months or a year or 2 years that's going to be worth something. And trust me, probably, I was actually talking when I was in Moscow a month ago, and the guy was saying, yeah, when it first came out, I put up my PC, and I was able to mine 0.03 Bitcoin in 1 day. And I said, oh, that's not profitable, the heck with it, you know. So, 0.03 Bitcoin in a day. So you got to keep that in mind, and I always tell people it's very important to mine. There's no reason not to. So another thing, and I'll kind of go through this stuff really quick. Just to give you a little bit more on Global Boost, we have a multi-post option. We have phone numbers that you can buy. You can send SMS. You can call. This is all technology that we've brought to the space, brought to the coin, and that's something I always tell people too. Look at what else or what technology the cryptocurrency or the blockchain is bringing into the space. If all they have is, oh, we're another coin or we're another clone of a coin or whatever it is, then it might not be the best investment. But if they are bringing things to the market that you can spend the coins on or spend your tokens on, well, then, of course, you're adding value. So we're actually, we got a new version of our app. It's on Google Play. I think probably tonight we'll have another update on it. But you can do everything. The multi-post is really cool. It's Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and VKontakte. And you can set timed posts. So you'll see if you go to my Twitter, at Networks Manager. I have over 100,000 followers. People say, Bruce, how do you have 100,000 followers? Well, guys, one of the ways is I use my tool, and I post all the time. Now, of course, when I'm on location, it's a little harder. But I had a guy ask me one time, he says, Bruce, we both joined Twitter in 2010. He said, but I only have 5,000 followers, and you have over 100,000. And why? And he asked me on Twitter, Twitter's one of those things, sometimes you respond, sometimes you don't. But I looked at it, and I went over and I looked at his account, and he had tweeted like, 2,000 times or something. And so I responded. I said, hey, well, during that time, I tweeted over 100,000 times, and you tweeted a few thousand times. And that's the name of the game. You want to always be promoting it, whatever it is, whether you're long on something, like a lot of us are long on Ethereum and everything else, whether you want to promote the Ethereum or promote whatever you are, if it's your coin or your blockchain or your ICO, you want to be out there and you want to be promoting it and you want to be doing it. And that's of course how you do it. So the other thing, of course, you can buy local phone numbers anywhere in the world, and you can make calls from the website and the mobile app, and then you can send and receive SMS messages, and you can do mass text messaging, everything like that. And so all these types of things are adding to the value of the blockchain. So this is just our tool, our back end of the thing. And I actually said LinkedIn, and LinkedIn closed their API about a year ago, and so that was a mistake. It's Tumblr. So Facebook, Twitter, VKontakte, and Tumblr. I've actually been after LinkedIn to let us, again, do it the API because, of course, why not? Set your timed post to go off of LinkedIn as well, but they're not doing it now. And I think actually they just sold, so maybe, or they sold a little while ago, so maybe that'll change as things go forward. But one of the other things we did, of course, we targeted VKontakte. So the VKontakte is a Russian version of Facebook. And I had a feeling that Russia was going to really take off with cryptocurrency, and I was absolutely correct. So you can post on the VKontakte as well, and we have some other uses with the API. And you can have the voicemails and all this stuff. All right, so let's see here. Just a quick overview. This is how you set the post. There we go. So you have a blog portion right there. And then up top, you can put the message, and you can decide whether to put a Global Boost message on it or whatnot. It's a powerful tool, and it's really something that everybody should be using. If you want to be an influencer, and you're in the cryptocurrency space and you're trying to promote something, you should really be using, if it's not my tool, you should be using some other tool to make sure that you get your message out there and that people know who you are. And one of the things that helps me a lot is, of course, I'm ranked. I'm ranked in the world as, I don't know, whatever I am this week, number 25 or something in the world as a blockchain influencer. And again, the way I influence is by always talking and by jumping. My dad always says, how does he say it? You always jump. So if someone asks you to do something, you jump, right? And that's what I do. You want me to come to Moscow? I want to come to Moscow. If you want me to come to Australia, I want to come. Oh, Lisbon? Okay. Asset-backed cryptocurrency? That sounds really cool. I'm in. And of course you can work out the deals and keep it profitable for yourself. But if you're always jumping, then guess what? You're gonna catch it sometimes. So that attitude is really what's taken me all over the world. I was an ice skater before. I competed internationally. I did the same thing. I just jumped. Any competition I could go to, I went to, and then now here with blockchain, I'm just out there. When Andrew Pearl called me and asked me to speak here, I said absolutely. I talked to him on the phone for about 10 minutes, and I said I'm in. And then it was just trying to figure out everything and make it all happen. So once you post on the Global Boost, of course, it comes out like this. You have a nice little feed, and it's hashtags and everything. So that's nice and easy, and you can use that. And moving forward, of course, we want to get more and more people on the platform and moving it. And this is how, of course, you can buy the credits. So if you want to buy a phone number or some time to talk or SMS or anything like that. And of course we accept Global Boost. I'm going to add Unitas and Myriad, and if other people want me to add stuff, I can add them as well. A nice, easy, lightweight payment gateway, all right? And I don't keep the coins. It goes directly to your wallet. It's so easy. I don't know why there's no reason to make it more difficult, and there's no reason to hold the coins in a hot wallet or something like that. I just go ahead, take your money, and keep it. And of course, the more users we have, the better. So that's how it works. And you can see just kind of, like I said, it's a nice lightweight plugin. Not even a plugin, it's just lightweight code that we developed to process these payments. And and it is really something else. And as we move forward, it has the same functionality of like a Telegram or a WhatsApp. And as we move forward, it's going to be more and more profitable. And you can just kind of see I'm just showing how it works here a little bit. And your dial pad and everything. So the Neon miner I mentioned, where you can mine with the Android phone, that's it right there on the right. This is our app interface over here on the left. So we have just our app right there, and that is on Google right now, Android. And then, of course, this is the mining device, and you can see it just mines away. And it is super easy to use, and it is really cool. So, as I mentioned, Global Boost, we have a philanthropic mission. My father is a combat wounded veteran, and he's the founder of Global Boost. The mission that he inspired is a mission to help wounded veterans. We throw and we sponsor disabled athletes and sporting events around the world, and we're going to continue to do that, and it's a really special thing. Some people ask me if it's only vets that can participate. Absolutely not. Anybody who's disabled, we're here to help. But obviously, the mission that the Global Boost has is to help the wounded veterans. My father always told me that my rewards in life would be directly affected by the amount of people that I helped. And even as a kid, it made sense to me. So if I help a lot of people, then my reward is going to be a lot, and I'm going to have everything that I want in life. And so I hold that, and I know it, and I understand it, and I try to tell everybody that. And those are great words to live by, because the more people that you help, the more successful you're going to be. And it's an amazing thing. My family has a long history of military service. There's been porters in just about every war. When it came time for me to start in my military career, I think we were over there shooting them up in Nicaragua or Panama with that guy, and I wasn't too interested. But of course, if something came up, then I would be. And now I help with the veterans, and that, of course, is my service that I give. So, all right, with that, I am going to hop around here a little bit, because I know that everybody is okay. So this one is over here. All right, so just a couple of things. I like to always talk about what it is that you can do. It's not just about you. It's not just about your Bitcoin wallet, okay? If you help others achieve their goal, you receive your wealth and happiness. I'm really big in adaptive sports. I've been teaching adaptive sports for a long time, so it really is a pleasure to get to use the blockchain to finance these events and to help these guys and really do this. It's definitely something really special. So another one I want to talk about now is Endo, and I'll keep this light. Endo, though, I want everybody to know about. They are doing open source blockchain protocol for secure and verified data exchange. There's some exceptional blockchain companies that I want to talk about, and this is one of them. This company has really caught my eye. They have a great team. And this is the future, and this is what everybody's talking about. How are we going to do it? How do I sell the real estate? When is that going to happen? And these guys are bringing it to market, and I'm really happy to be involved. I'm the head of the North American operations, and I'd be happy to talk to anybody. We're right now in a private pre-sale, and of course we have a SEC compliant wallet and all this stuff once we start the ICO. But this is big, and this is where everything is going. And that's when when they talk about the Bitcoin and oh gosh, and it's a little different for us. Of course, if you're buying Bitcoin at $80 or $300 or something, and it's like $9,000, you're like, okay, they're like, oh, it's gonna go down, it's gonna crash. You're like, dude, it's like $9,000 for a Bitcoin, But for other people, I just explained to them that the technology behind the Bitcoin is not going anywhere, and it's going to stay right here, and it's going to keep changing everything, and it's going to power the world, and it's going to feed the world. In layman terms, these are the guys that are going to bring certified documents and sales to the blockchain, and that's Endo. This is an encrypted data platform using open source blockchain protocol. In the future, if you want to buy a car, the entire transaction will happen over the blockchain. And you can see just have a little thing here showing how it works, okay? And each one of these spots here now has their own database. So if you take let's use the automobile industry as an example to how the technology works. In an auto transaction, there are multiple entities that are involved in the sale, the finance, and the service of the car. Each company is keeping their own database. And when the transaction happens, it's up to each to verify and update the records. With Endo, the records are stored in the blockchain. Each entity involved in has an encrypted access and can update their records to the updated records. And it's certified and available to all the participating parties. This is the future. This is how it is going to work right here. And these are the guys that are doing it, and I'm really happy to be involved with them. This technology capability is why I laugh at folks when they say Bitcoin is a fad. The technology behind Bitcoin is going to keep this going. And these guys are in private pre-sale right now. And they have an excellent team. You can see here, this is just some of them. Some of them are based in Siberia and in Moscow, and they are really doing a great job, and I'm really excited about these guys. So you can let me know. Endo is one of the most exciting projects on the blockchain, and it has the team to match. They're well-funded and exceptionally staffed. I sit on the board as the executive director of American Operations, seeking investors who see the opportunity of the companies and that want to streamline the blockchain. Now, as I mentioned, just a little segue here, I always try to keep it upbeat. Guys, you beat 80% of the competition by showing up, okay? And that's what I always tell people when they come to these things and they want this, or they want that, or everything. Guys, you already beat 80% of everybody by showing up, okay? You beat another 10% of everybody by preparation, and the other 10% is a dogfight. So hats off to you guys with Run with the Unicorns, and Andrew Perel and the team. The guys have done a great job. And here we are. You know, you brought some of the best minds here in cryptocurrency, and we're all excited to be here. And it really is an amazing thing. So another company that I'm working with, you may know that or you may not, that I am into staffing. I've been staffing models and like basically trade show models and event staffing for years, almost a decade. And there's a photo from one of my events. So it's something I know a lot about. And so when the Crystals Project approached me about being involved, of course it was very interesting to me because even this afternoon, if you go out to the Chow Wagon, you'll probably see a couple of the girls that we're staffing here for the Run for the Unicorns to drive people over here to the event. And this type of technology using smart contracts and the blockchain in order to, for the models and for these performers to staff themselves is absolutely where it's going. And these guys are on the front of the curve to make everything happen. It's funny, yeah, because I've actually staffed a bunch of events right down the street at the Kentucky Expo Center. And so it's a great business. But I understand the challenges that the performers face, and when they're booking themselves and then getting paid. And Crystals is using the blockchain to address this age-old problem. And we're starting with the modeling industry, and we're going to expand to all types of performers. And this is just a little graphic about how it's working. It's the first of its kind blockchain platform developed for the modeling industry to act as an intermediary between service providers and the customers. And it's going to bring them both to one place. So as you know, you're going to have the customer who may have a trade show or something in Moscow or Louisville or somewhere else, and you're going to have a performer who's going to be able to put themselves on there and have a profile and be able to then book themselves and know that they're going to get paid and have the money basically, you know, using the Ethereum-based smart contracts. And I'm really excited about it. I think we're going to do a lot of great things. And this is another one of those, you know me, I like to back things that are backed by something. So whether it's an asset or whether it's a human asset or whatever it is, we're basically hitting the ground running with Crystals with already people in place and basically backed by the live asset of what's going on. So this is another great one. It's in a private pre-sale right now. Both of these are really strong. It's an exciting project and it has immediate real-world use. I'm on board as an advisor, and the technology is really strong. So if you are looking for something like that, this is going to be a great project to get into, and they're a great team and great people behind it. So I'm going to cover a little bit about, there's my pre-sale there. And that's my number. I'm at Networks Manager on Twitter. I'm Bruce Porter on Telegram, 202-436-6577 on WhatsApp. And that's how to get a hold of me here. So
Well, I'm just wondering if we want to open up any questions, or you
yeah, sure.
Where are you at?
Actually, it's a great moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just thank you for that, because I think there's a lot there. And questions from the audience? Anybody have something for Bruce here? Of course, we've got his phone number, so we know we can get even afterwards. So, yeah, and I think that's where there's so much opportunity. There's so much going on in the space that just having insight into some of those and where they're at and what they're doing, and especially like the team from overseas. I mean, without you here basically being an evangelist, we might never hear about them, and they might be the next big thing. So,
Exactly.
again, you've probably put a lot of due diligence into picking the projects that you're picking, and that's just more evidence that right now is a moment where we're at the very, very beginning of this thing,
Yes.
just getting started. So we've got lunch coming up, and I wanted to, but
I think it's a great moment.
Want to give you anybody else a chance that wants to ask a question. One last shot at it here. Okay, and I wanted to let everybody know that we've got some of the art from Jason Pope out in the area as you're going into the lunch. Please check it out. We'll get a mention from him tomorrow, but he was on the schedule for today. But just, he's doing a lot with QR code art, and he's really well known for it. So it's actually a privilege to see some of his pieces that are done just for this conference.
It's amazing. It's amazing work. It really is cool. And he says if he's doing a wallet or a paper wallet or something like that, when you send the cryptocurrency in and out, he can make it where it like makes a little mark on it. I don't know how he's doing it, but it is.
Okay. Well, if he's going to share, we're moving him over to tomorrow's schedule. But yeah, thank you. And I think that's one of those things that we can do is to add more creativity to what we're doing. So thanks again. Hand for Bruce.